So, when I was a kid, I used to go to church every Saturday night, and I went to a youth group at the same church on Tuesdays. And I remember there were these two kids. One was named Dan, and the other, I honestly can't remember his real name. It was a weird bird name, and I want to say it was Sparrow, since that's the one that's been sticking in my mind for the past 10 years. But it may have been Robin, or it could have been something even weirder. Anyway, the two of them were obsessed with Sonic, and they would constantly make Sonic references and stuff every Tuesday and Saturday. They had like a plethora of OCs, and I remember this one in particular was named Tenmo, and I can't remember. It either means black or midnight in some language. I don't remember 100%, but Tenmo. They would change the lyrics to the Christian songs to fit the Sonic mythos or to include their character names. And the one that sticks out in my head the most, I vaguely remember. It was pretty generic. It was like, we're gonna banish Satan from our hearts. God, you'll lead us from the darkness and we'll be living in the kingdom of light. Or something like that anyway. And they would sing stuff like, we're banishing Robotnik from our heads, bring us to the kingdom of the rings. Like, they weren't good word replacements. And most of the time they were really reaching for these references. But I stood pretty close to them during song time, and I just remember the little one-shot lines. And I know for a fact they drew cringy Christian Sonic fan art. Like, I think they were some of the first, but they were legitimately sincere about it. But I was thinking about them after seeing some similar fan art pop up on Twitter, and I searched up Dan's name on Facebook since he was the only one I actually remember his real name. And, like, this dude's married. He has a kid now. And he looks like a serious, respectable human being. I mean, mostly. I saw some pics of him back in his early 20s, and he looks like a poster child for illicit drugs. I mean, probably he wasn't, but he just looked like it. But anyway, he really cleaned up now. So anyway, this actually does have a point, because I was seriously baffled by the fact that he just looked so normal, and his life turned out pretty dang normal. It just made me think that there's so many kids in fandoms right now, and of course, we all know I'm talking about the furries, Undertale, Five Nights at Freddy's. And I think the only difference between cringy kids then and now is the fact that back then, people were cringy on DeviantArt, and that was kind of it. Now it's everywhere, and everyone has knowledge and access to it. But kids that age, the awkward 11 to 14, they will always be cringy. That 3-year span is plagued with crappy MS Paint art and bad OCs and rewording song lyrics and stuff. Believe me, I was not immune. And to the most part, I'm probably still really cringy, being in my 20s and making fursuit videos. But anyway, I'm not trying to be preachy. I just think that adults and older teens should maybe stop outing cringy children and just let them be kids. Because it's been this way since at least I can remember, and I don't think it's ever going to change. It's just them being weird, and if they're just doing their own thing and not hurting anyone, let's just leave them alone. Anyway, that was kind of it. I want to thank everyone for putting up with my cringiness, and I have a big shout out to Jupiter, my patron who really likes to hear their name at the end of my videos, but I'm sure they're lonely. So shout outs begin at the $5 tier, and I'm sure they would appreciate the company. All links to my social media and pandering handouts are below, and I'll see you guys next week.